This right here is a professional test automation framework, and it is written in one of the easiest languages you can possibly learn, which is Python. In this video, I'm going to explain to you why Python is a non-negotiable first step for you to becoming a QA automation engineer. I'm going to give you several reasons. I'm going to show you some code and just talk more about it to encourage you to not be intimidated and to actually start learning Python. So why you must learn Python, and we're going to talk about that in detail in this video. In addition to that, I'm going to show you examples of Python code, and I'm going to give you my tips and tricks on how to learn Python. I myself are self-taught programmer. I taught myself just like you are doing it on YouTube, Udemy, and things like that, like over 11 years ago. Even though I have an engineering background, I had no coding background, and I kind of fell in love with it really. So I'm going to give you tips and tricks of how to do it in this day and age. So Python is the number one choice. So when you're trying to become a QA automation engineer, you have several options. Python, Java, and JavaScript are the top options. Any other language I wouldn't even consider, right? So in the job market, Java is slightly more popular. If you were to go and count the number of jobs that mention Java and count the number of jobs that mention Python, which I actually did, Java is slightly more. But the learning curve, Java versus Python, Python is way easier. So it is no brainer. You're going to start with Python. Why would you learn something that is way more difficult to gain a little bit more advantage in the job market? You wouldn't do that. So I would definitely not recommend it. So the best reason, there's a lot of reasons, but one of the best reasons is it's the easiest one to learn. I didn't say it's easy, it's the easiest one to learn, because easy is a very subjective term, right? For it's not the same for everybody. Some people just look at it once and get it. Some people need to look at it 10 times, but you'll get it eventually. That's the main point. So it's simple, but it's not easy because you also have to focus. What makes it difficult is the focus, the dedication, right? It's not something you just sit there like watch it like Netflix for 2 hours and you get it. No, you have to be dedicated like a sport. You have to keep practicing, and you will get there eventually. No doubt about that. So Python is a very beginner friendly language. It's very simple, readable, and that means you can learn it a lot faster. The next reason, if the first reason is not convincing enough, it is the most popular language. I would say the most popular language. It all depends on the industry, but it is extremely popular. So let's say you start learning Python, you get a QA job or not. It just opens a lot of doors, right? You can use Python in so many different things. It's not just about QA. You can go into so many directions. Anything that you build with AI these days, Python is the number one language in AI because Python is like data science language. So AI uses it a lot. And when you're building tools that use AI, make API calls and things like that, Python is one of the easiest ones to work. Like I say, data science is Python. Well, when you're working with cloud, like if you want to become like a DevOps and work with AWS, Azure, or things like that, you manage cloud infrastructure using Python. A lot of Python goes into the cloud. People at DevOps use a lot of Python. So knowing Python not only will set you up to becoming an automation engineer, it just opens a lot of other doors. So that is the main reason. So those are the reasons. Those should be very clear, convincing reasons for you to learn Python, let alone for somebody trying to get into automation. Even for anybody, you just want a side project, learning Python could possibly change your life. All right, so now let's look at actual code. So here we saw that in the opening screen. This is a test framework, right? This is Python code. When you look at this, this is also Python code. And when you look at this, this is also more Python code. Now, the difference between those three is basically the purpose. What do they do? And you don't just jump and start learning from something that looks like that or something that looks like this. Where you're going to start with something that looks like that. So all of those three examples that I just showed you, they are Python scripts. But what do they do? So this one, the simplest one, barely does anything. It just prints a statement. It will just display a statement onto the screen. You say print hello world. It's a Python script. You run the script. It will just print hello world. That's it. On the screen, you will see a message displayed hello world. That's all it does. If that's what you need, then it is a program meant to do that. Then when we look at this transcribe video, this is a script that will take a video file, like I can give it an MP4 and it will give me a transcription, right? Whatever is being said in that video, it will transcribe it and it will output a JSON file and an SRT file, which is captions, right? A transcript of the video. So it's much more complicated. It's using a bunch of libraries. Mainly it's using a library called Whistle. Libraries are like code that other people wrote. So it has some functionality. You import it and you build on top of that. When we look at this guy here, this is a test framework. So even when you read this, it seems like pretty simple, straightforward English, right? Go to homepage. First, click on the first button. Verify the item is in the cart. Blah, 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 right? It seems like very basic English. And when you're learning how to write Python, you're going to learn how to write this. It's a set of rules. There is rules and regulations you got to follow. You just got to follow that. You start with something simple like this and you're going to learn rules. You're going to learn things about variable. Once you learn that, you're going to learn about how does data get structured. You have strings, you have lists and dictionaries and things like that. Then you're going to get into different topics like how do you loop through things. So you're going to learn one concept at a time until it's like a Lego piece. You learn a little piece, it doesn't make much sense by itself. You learn a piece, it doesn't make by itself. You learn a bunch of different pieces, they don't really make much sense while you're learning them, but when you put it together, it actually makes a lot of sense. I always use like an example of a car. First of all, there are two things I use. When you're trying to learn how to drive a car, you don't learn how the internal combustion engine works, right? You don't know, you don't learn about how the fuel and the gas and the air and everything works together. You don't learn about like the chemistry of the fuel. You just learn how to hit the steering wheel and the gas pedal and the shift. You learn how to drive. So when you're learning how to code, some people try to get deep into it, like you're trying to learn how to drive and they teach you how the engine works. So you got to watch out for that. Another thing is, going back to the first example I'm talking about, if you've never seen a car and you see the steering wheel by itself, like on a shelf, or you see like gas pedal by itself on the shelf, or the gear changer by itself, individual item, it's not going to make sense to you, right? When you put everything together and you look at it as a car, you're like, oh, this is how it works. Right? There's 4 wheels, blah, blah. So that's how Python is. Be patient with it when you're going through the course, any kind of course. Be very patient because the first pieces, the individual things, they're not going to make sense. I totally understand that. But then when everything comes together, within, I would say, like, it depends on how it's designed. In my course, within about the first like 3 hours or so, everything starts to come together. But depending on the course, of course, how detailed they get into, but maybe like 4 or 5 chapters, 4 or 5 concepts, then the picture will start to be a lot cleaner. So don't worry about that. Find a good course. You can learn it on YouTube. I don't recommend that. You want a course that actually gives you the code, so you have a reference material. When you're writing the code, you want to see the code that the instructor wrote. You want examples. You want to be in a non-distraction environment. YouTube is so distraction, right? YouTube's point is to keep you there, so they're always going to be showing you stuff that you might want to watch this, you might want to watch that. And as humans these days, we are easily distracted, so I don't recommend YouTube, but of course it is an option. Things like Udemy are much better because they're meant to be a course, right? And there's tons of great courses on there. You focus on there and you just take a course there. Just buy one of the popular courses and do that. Or of course, take my course. You can just join me. In fact, you can learn for free for a month. I have like a 1 month free trial right now, so you can just join my program. It's all in the link. I have a Python course and like the whole shebang, the whole QA automation thing, not Python. But use any resource you want, right? You can even ask ChatGPT what is the best way to learn Python. Ask ChatGPT to give you a plan. So ask it to create a plan for me to learn Python and go from there. Like, see if that actually matches with what I'm telling you right now. Some of the things I'm saying right now, if they sound crazy to you, go to ChatGPT and be like, hey, Adama said this, what do you think? And see what it says, right? Then when you're learning, let's say once you choose a course and you're going through a course and you're learning, make sure you use Chat. See, when I'm learning, ChatGPT was not around. So every time you see an example, right, and you don't fully understand it, take that example, put it into ChatGPT and say, hey, I just saw this example, I don't really understand it, explain it, right? You understand it, but you're like, I don't know if I fully get it. Then do the same thing. Take that example, put it in ChatGPT and be like, I just went through this, I kind of understand it, but I want to make sure. Give me another example that is like that. Give me another challenge that's like that. You can ask it, hey, give me a challenge. Don't give me the solution yet. Let me try it out. And you just talk to it, right? So it's all about practice. When you're coding, it's all about practice. It's all about, getting different examples for the same topic. You see one example, you get it. You get another one, you get it a little better. You get another one, you get it a little better. Even later on, even when you get to not just watching videos, when you get to actually working on projects, every project you get better and better and better. So that's how I would use AI. Like, the biggest advantage you have with AI is giving it an example and be like, hey, I don't understand this concept. 1, explain it to me. 2, give me another example that I can solve. Just challenge me with that. Absolutely take advantage of that and make sure you use that. So learn Python. Don't be scared, no matter what your reason is. Hopefully you're trying to be an sdet or QA automation engineer, but even if you just want to explore this QA, this technology field, absolutely learn Python. It's non-negotiable. I advise that to everybody that is interested in actually learning. All right, so like I said, check out my program. If you want to actually work with me one-on-one, I have one-on-one coaching. You can work with me directly. All the links will be in the description. But I also have a membership which is free for 1 month, and there's a bunch of self-paced courses and a community. The community is a big part, right? You can ask me questions, ask people questions, and you're going to learn. We learn together. We have a live session once a month and more, some random ones and the scheduled ones, committed ones. So all of that in the description. I run supersqa.com. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and you subscribe to my channel. If this is your first time, my name is Adam Kung-Fu. I have 11 years of experience as software engineer in test, and all I do is help people grow, help people learn automation. So make sure you check it out. And if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments or send me a message. My contact information is all over the place, including my website. So I'll see you on the next one. Make sure you watch the next video, this one or that way. That will be step 2 in your process of learning QA automation.